So, Dayana, head of new media, WalletConnect. Congratulations, you've been going strength to strength in there. But before we kick off, tell us, why should people care about WalletConnect?
People should care about WalletConnect because not only has it been a company that's been around since 2018, but right now there's a very specific trend going on that is sweeping up everyone. It's the convergence of TradFi and decentralized finance. And WalletConnect with WalletConnect Pay, which is our newest technology, is working with banks, is working with real businesses, merchants, and users around the world. And I feel like we're at the forefront of what's happening across the space. And you see it even here at ECC Cannes. There's so many suit and ties. Societe Generale is here. So many banks are coming on chain, and we are already a part of that. So I think if you're looking toward where to go to get the money, to get the users, look at what WalletConnect's doing.
Okay, well, we have to keep an eye on it. And what are you excited for in this next little bit then?
I'm excited for Paris Blockchain Week, which is going to be a big event happening not too long from now. Tons of banks coming to that. I'm excited for Money 2020 Amsterdam. WalletConnect will have a booth there. So pop by if you're in town. And I'm excited to see more merchants such as coffee shops, designer luxury stores adopt WalletConnect Pay.
Well, we'll be keeping an eye out. So here we're going to ask you to take a stand on a couple of things. Could be controversial, we want to know that. Put it all out there, your honest take. So you're obviously in media and content. If you had to only make long or short form content for the rest of your career, what would it be and why?
Against my wishes, short form content, because people do not have attention span anymore. The average attention span is what, like 3 to 6 seconds. I love long form because I'm a writer at heart, but I am forced to do short form and I don't mind it so much. So that's my answer.
Okay, there you go. I mean, the attention spans are going very quickly. And this is a bit of a controversial one. KOLs in all industries, whether it's the manosphere or crypto, they get a bit of a tough name. Do you think they're still a valuable distribution channel or misaligned incentives totally?
Listen, I don't not like the people as such. I don't love the concept of KOLs because everybody knows they're being paid and everybody questions why they're saying what they're saying. The shill is all paid. I don't think they're very effective. In fact, I think that micro influencers, people with smaller communities, 3 to 5K, are much more trustworthy than those 100,000 person accounts that everyone knows are getting paid crazy money to shill a coin.
I completely agree. Hot take, hot take. So now I want to double click on you. Personal branding. You've had such a brilliant come up in the last few years. And I remember meeting you back in Naples and you were just on fire. For people watching, what's your sort of top tip for getting started or even succeeding in building a personal brand?
Simple. Treat everything like it's Instagram. Everyone's on Instagram. I'm sure of that. Why does that work? Because you show your life behind the scenes and people get to know you as a person. So I could chill my project and my job all day, but people want to know what I had for breakfast this morning. People want to know what I'm shopping for. People want to know who I'm going out with. So when you infuse that personality, that's what makes a brand truly personal.
I like it. And so beneath all the glitz and glamour, have there been any like tough parts through that sort of last like 2 or 3 years of building content?
Of course. So I had an epic layoff from Cointelegraph last year in April, and I posted about it on X. And in the span of 24 hours, I got 12 interviews booked. I got my first viral post, in fact. And people still to this day, a year and a half later, meet me and they're like, "Are you the girl with the post?" So it's okay to be vulnerable, but do tell the story.
Yeah, no, that's good. I remember the post. It went super viral and everyone is lucky to have you. So now thinking a little bit more about crypto media, it's tough at the moment. Like you said, attention spans are at 0. What makes crypto content cut through?
Drop the whole crypto and just create content that people want to see. I'll give you an example. When Louis O'Connor started the Ethereum Foundation, the reason why the EF videos blew up was because he was editing them like short films, cinematic, like a music video, like a vlog, and not just like a face to camera. Here's what this new ERC20 standard means. He made it fun. He made it a little immersive adventure. So I think if you think back to the days of YouTube 2012, 2015, when everything was such a cinematic experience, behind the scenes, very personal, this is what people want to see, not just the 2-minute overly edited video AI slop of what your coin does or your project does, but create a story and really put in the time to make an edit that's an experience.
Yeah, I think it's the double whammy of trust is super low and attention is even lower. So it's like when you see something too polished, it's almost immediately flick off. Talking a bit more around creativity, then you come up with so many great ideas, different angles for content and these sorts of bits. Talk us through what is your creative process?
I consume a lot more than I create. And people say create more than you consume, but I don't agree with that. I think that when you consume content, you get sort of like you build your taste palette of what's good content, why it resonates. And I personally have very dry humor. And so I always like to kind of be like, oh, but why is that? Yeah, I should be. I really should have been. Why is that funny? Oh, you say that this is like that, but why? Like convince me. So I always try to take a stance that's maybe slightly different. And I always try to create content that is very conversational. So if I go on camera, I'm going to talk to the camera like I'm talking to you just now and not pretend to be someone that's like way above my audience. So I think consume enough, take a unique stance, and then create conversationally.
And who's someone that you're really taking a lot of inspo from recently?
I think that Louis, obviously from the Ethereum Foundation, and Gareth Jenkinson, who is my former boss at Cointelegraph. He now works at The Block. He is just such a pro. He comes from sports journalism in South Africa. He can sit down with anyone, Stani, Vitalik, whoever it is, and just have a very heart-to-heart, honest conversation, and it really resonates. And finally, Benji from the Ethereum Foundation as well, with their show. I forget what the format was, but it's like him and builders playing Jenga and just talking under pressure. I think that's so fun.
Yeah, having a little bit of fun with stuff always helps. So final question, we're zooming out. It's 2030. What does great crypto media look like?
It looks like mainstream media. You forget that it's crypto, just like payments. You forget that you're using USDC. You just go, scam, pay, that's done. You open a video, watch it, that's done. We don't have to make something crypto. Let's just make it fun, related to crypto, but don't exaggerate the crypto side.
I love it. Dayana, thank you so much for making so much amazing content. The positivity I always see that comes through, you add so much to these conferences. You include so many people. So thanks for coming on. It was awesome.
Thanks for having me.
Cheers.